my name's Spencer and welcome back to my channel. Today, you guessed it, we are setting up my bullet journal for the month of May. Here I am just picking out the colours that I want to use, using the handy chart I made to colour code all of my pens so I knew exactly what they all looked like. And although this took a long time, it was really helpful when it came to actually choosing the colours to use for this month's theme. I decided to go for a wildflower theme this month. It's been quite a while since I did any serious drawing in my bullet journal because of pain flares and not being able to, so I wanted to take advantage of just being able to draw some simple illustrations throughout the spreads this month. I used some references that I just found online to draw these. I literally googled wildflowers and just drew which ones took my fancy. By the way, I use a range of fineliners throughout this entire setup, not just the two that I showed you here. I tend to just use whatever looks and feels good. That's my lunch alarm going off. So as you can see, I've just written May at the top and made a little mini calendar. I haven't put a mini calendar on my cover page for quite a while, so I just fancied doing that this time. And now I'm starting off drawing all of those different wildflowers across the bottom of the page. I don't know specifically what any of these are, and good luck guessing because I kind of made some of them up a bit. I wanted to make it look like a wildflower meadow going across the bottom of all of my spreads, so I did a range of these at varying heights and sizes, and I tried to make it look like some were further forward and further back as well, but I'm not sure how well that turned out. For now I'm just doing all of these in my black fineliner, but I do go back in and add some colour in a minute. For my quote page, I decided to do it slightly differently, and I drew one big flower, and I did this sort of half in, half out of the box because I saw a picture on Pinterest where they did this, and inside the box they left it black and white, and outside the box they did colour, and I really liked how that looked, so I decided to replicate that. I also layered the colours a little bit here. The hobbycraft brush pens that I'm using are really good, so you can add more and darken up the colour if you want to. My quote for this month is "Inspiration unlocks the future," and it's something that Miyazaki said, and if any of you have been here for a while, you know that I am obsessed with Studio Ghibli stuff, so quotes from him end up in my bullet journal quite a lot. Here I'm going back in and adding some colour to those wildflowers. I didn't do this particularly carefully. I quite liked the sort of watercolour look. But yeah, I kind of just wanted it to look really loose and natural, and like, also I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself to make everything perfect because this is the first time I'm drawing in my bullet journal for several months. So yeah, I just sort of dabbed in the colour where I wanted it to go, so it was more of a hint of colour here and there rather than colouring it in perfectly like I did on the other page. I chose quite faint or pastel or desaturated colours. This dark green is probably the most saturated and like darkest colour that I use. I don't use it too much more going forward apart from for titles, but I did put it on this cover page. I wanted colours that gave me that sort of summer wildflower meadow vibe. The next spread for this setup is, as usual, my monthly spread. I have done the same as what I did in April, and that's to make the actual calendar a bit smaller, because I actually record what's going to happen in the months in a different planner. So I use my bullet journal one to record what actually happened, and I don't need as much space to do that. So I'm just doing all of the line work for the calendar in that darkest green that I have, and creating the top in the light one, and then going back in with that same dark green to do the headers for the days of the week. I've also created a little goals section up in the top corner, and this is for me to list out all the things I want to get done this month. So I will sit down and look back at my quarterly goals page and figure out which ones I want to focus on in May. Again, I'm just drawing a bunch of wildflowers across the bottom of the page. I wanted these to look like they were going in and out of the calendar to sort of tie the two together. So some of them look like they're going behind it, and some of them are sitting in front of it. I actually really like how this came out. I'm really proud of it. And again, I'm just going back in with that quite desaturated palette to add hints of colour here and there. When I started dating this calendar, I realised that I gave myself a little bit too much space, because May actually ends on a Monday, so I kind of had a whole row, but I don't mind that because I really like how the plants cover it. So. The next page is for my trackers. So I have a habit tracker across the top and a mood and pain tracker across the bottom. I did my usual just sort of tick table, I guess you could call it, for my habits. I listed them all down one side that you can see here, and I put the dates across the top, and as I go through the month I will just cross off which ones I complete on which day. I decided to switch it up for my mood and pain tracker this month. I usually do a similar kind of grid type of record, but this time I wanted to go back to what I used to do, which is where I would colour in an image that I've made. So this time I repeated that motif of the kind of viney plant with, I go back in with a lighter colour in a minute to split the leaves in half, so I have space to record my mood and space to record my pain level that day. I think that makes sense. I hope that makes sense and that I've explained that okay. Another reason I wanted to do this is because I haven't turned this page into like a meadow page like I have the others, so I just wanted to have something planty on there. So the final part of this setup is my first weekly setup. In April, I tried my hand at a Dutch door setup and I really enjoyed using them. But I found myself kind of feeling bad for the amount of wasted paper. So I did a little research and found that there is a method called the faux Dutch door, which is where you just fold the page instead of actually cutting it out. And I started using that about halfway through April, and I've decided to continue it because I really like it. It gives me a lot of space for each day to write down what I want to get done, what I do get done, and just to journal some of my thoughts and feelings as well. So if you want a lot of planning space, I really recommend using a faux Dutch door. Again, I drew all of my little wildflowers across the bottom, and I just think this looks so cute and so adorable, and I'm gonna try and keep up doing this each week. So there will be wildflowers across the bottom of all of the spreads throughout the month. This was a lot of fun to set up and draw. I literally just popped on some heart breathings videos and just chilled out whilst drawing flowers, and it was a lot of fun and quite meditative because they were the same flowers that I was just sketching in different positions and such, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So it was, as much as I love using stickers, and I will be using them throughout the month, it was nice to get back to just drawing and sketching in my bullet journal. Of course, I'm just gonna add a little touches of colour here and there to bring it all together and look cohesive with the other pages. Also, I tried really hard with my lettering this month. I hope you guys like it. I've been practicing, and I hope that shows. So here we go, here's the final flip through. We have my cover and quote page, my monthly calendar page, my tracker page, and my first weekly spread. So here you go, this is how the faux Dutch door works. So there you go, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so we can hang out some more. I'm sorry that I didn't get any other videos up this month, but I did update you all over on my stories on Instagram about what was happening and why I wasn't uploading, and that's saved to a highlight on my Instagram if you want to go and check that out. There's also pictures of Bo, so you know, even if you don't care about the update, there's cute pictures of my dog on there. And I'm also thinking about doing some live streams each week of me setting up the new week in my bullet journal so we can just hang out whilst I do that. So if that sounds interesting, let me know in the comments and I will try to sort something out. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!